I'm going to make a bold claim that dogs are like cars. And not only that, that actually has something to do with board and train. If you don't know what board and train is, let me explain first, and then I'll go back to explaining why dogs are like cars. Kind of. Board and train is when you get a dog and you just don't have the time to train the dog for different reasons. And you probably don't have the best skills ever. So what do? You send your dog to be boarded with someone who specializes in dog behavior or dog training, and they do all of the training over there. They teach your dog how to sit, how to jump, how to come to you, how to stay, all the basic cues, all the basic commands, and sometimes even more advanced things. And then you get the dog back already trained. Great, right? You did spend some money, but you didn't spend any of your time. And you didn't have to struggle with the training that can take a lot of time, to be honest. Now, on paper, because the dog already learned all of those techniques and all of those cues and all of those commands, it should be pretty easy, right? Now, all you need to do is to say, sit. And the dog is going to sit because he learned it before, right? Well, to be honest, no, it's not going to work, and it's not that easy in most cases. Yes, sometimes it will work. In most cases, it's not going to be such a smooth transition from the board and train to your house. And this is because of a few things. For example, one of them is the fact that the training was done in one specific location, and now the dog is back home, which is a whole different location. The momentum of the training that was done at the board and train is different from your house. You will still be able to train your dog to do those same things from the board and train at your house, but you will probably need to start over again where you want your dog to do those behaviors, and your dog is not automatically going to generalize everything that he learned in one place to everywhere else. That is, by the way, why when you're studying for an exam in one specific room, it's actually always best to do the exam in that room and not in another room. I mean, if you can do like an online exam. Another reason that sometimes might explain it is the fact that your home might have more distractions and might be already associated with different things that weren't associated for the dog in the board and train. So how is it that dogs are like cars? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you get a great car, very nice race car or something like that, and you send it to a race driver that specializes in driving that car. That driver races all around the world with it and then bring you back the car, telling you that this is what you should avoid, this is what you should do, this is how to drive that race car. But you never actually driven a race car. Maybe you never actually driven a car at all. Do you think that just because that race driver, which is a professional, told you how to do those things, you will be able to all of a sudden race yourself? Of course not. Why? Because you never actually driven the car. And yes, you might think I'm exaggerating. Dog training is not exactly the same as driving a race car. But in many ways, sometimes it might actually be much more complicated. I'm assuming because I never actually driven a race car. So what do you think? Would you ever send your dog to a board and train, or did you ever do it before? And kind of like, what was your experience about it? Write it down in the comments below. I will be happy to learn from you. And as usual, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And why not watch this video in the meanwhile?